Welcome guys, this is crisis169 coming to you live with another video. And the power of internet coming to you, sorry guys, coming to you live with the power of YouTube and the internet. Bringing you another broadcast and with more thoughts about crisis169 here. My name is gamertag crisis169 on PlayStation Network and Xbox One. My Facebook page is Mark Hupteling. Send me a friend request. Any topics you want to talk about, send me on there, or send it on my gamertag on crisis169 CRISIS. Now let's get going here. My thoughts on the Xbox One Scorpio, or Xbox One project, I call it, the new project. I call it the Xbox because we don't know what the Scorpio is going to be. We don't understand if it's going to be exactly what they said it's going to be. The name-wise. Name-wise, what being is that we don't know what it's going to be. We have no clue on what the Xbox project Scorpio is really going to be with the games. You know, we saw what's under the hood. We saw what's underneath the hood, and it looks all flashy, flashy. And that's good and all. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand now. There is issues with people not understanding why it's going to take old games and make them practically newer, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong taking on the game here, taking Skyrim and you know, make it look, you know, 4K, you know, on the Xbox One Scorpio, or another one of that here, another Xbox game here. Doom, that's I've heard awesome on PC 4K and making it better. Or any other game you might have. Bulletstorm or Call of Duty. Still people, the 5 people that still play Call of Duty. In Battlefield, you know, games like that were considered good games. Titanfall 2, that's highly underrated, will be pretty looking good at 4K. But here's my thoughts on it. Where are the new IPs? New games. Hashtag new games. Okay, where are the new games at? Okay, where are the sleeper hits? No, where are the games that people want to play? You have to understand, you know, people don't want to play games that are old. Now, the Xbox One, and we all know this, have not done very well because of what happened with the launch of the Xbox One. It was a botched launch. They botched their own launch. They shot themselves in the foot. It's been about, you know, 2013, 14, 15, 14, 15, 16, about 4 years now. Since the Xbox One original launch. And all they cared about was DRM this, DRM that, DRM everything else. And I told you yesterday after we did, after did the San Bernardino shooting, of course, you know, I want no subscribers off that one still. Because this, you know, when I do real talk like that, I'm not looking for subscribers or hits. I'm looking for to speak my mind about stuff like that. This here, you know, by all means, like and subscribe to the video and my channel. Help me out. My goal is at least get 10 subscribers at least. Start with that and work my way up that way. Tell your friends, share this video on you know, all things around. And I really do appreciate it. Obviously, I'll appreciate it much of it. But when I do real talk like I did yesterday about San Bernardino, I don't want any subscribers, like I said. But going back to my thoughts, I'll make sure I can get that out of the way. It is understandable that people have, you know, the hesitation of running out there and spending $500-$600. Here's the thing: how much is this damn thing going to cost? We all know it ain't cost $399. We all know a thing ain't going to cost $399. There's no way. There's no way, and all things are holy. That's going to cost $399. That's just the way it is, my friends. It ain't going to work that way. There's nothing that's going to tell me that this thing's going to cost $399. Not one thing at all. And if you can explain to me and tell me it costs $399 because of whatever issues, then that'd be fine. But I guarantee it ain't gonna cost $399. It ain't gonna cost anything. It's gonna cost more than that. I fear, and I do fear, that if the Xbox One Scorpio or Xbox One Project Scorpio does not deliver on anything except graphic capability to take an old game like Skyrim, and Doom, and I also have Resident Evil Biohazard, taking those games and making them look prettier, then the Scorpio will truly be the last system, or the project will be the last system of the Xbox brand. Because what can you go forward? What can you do to go forward? How can you make it easier on yourself? You can't make it easier on yourself technically with anything else anyway. You can't do it. There's just no way to do it. You have to truly suspend the fact that you have to have knowledge in that stuff to know what you're doing at all times, and find out what you're doing at all times, and make things appear without having an issue. That's the issue. I'm checking my phone real quick. And that's the issue. The Xbox One Scorpio, or Project Scorpio, does not deliver on anything it promises. Nothing. You cannot make this stuff up. Okay? You can't explain to me and tell me that the Xbox One Scorpio, or Project Scorpio it's called, is going to be able to take the basic fundamentals of what's going on with the gaming community and say, here we go now. The original Xbox was like the Sega Saturn. It's not our future. Practically what they're going to be saying about it. Hell, if you think about it that way, it's what they're doing anyway with it. It's what they're doing anyway with it. If you think about it. It ain't nothing new, on what they're doing. And I feel that every passing moment, at E3, they might have new IPs. I predict Insomniac will probably come out, because Insomniac's working with Xbox right now. Quite sad how they left Sony, but it happens. Ratchet and Clank games are good. Resistance is good. I kind of wish they'll come back and redo those, but I know how it is. But be that as it may, we have to understand that there are things out there that are not going to be able to understand, and things out there that we can't understand with gaming. Why did the Neo Geo success go to almost 2004, but yet the Sega Saturn went in the toilet? Because it's hard to program. Okay, well, explain the Xbox One launch date being a colossal cluster F of a mess, and explain, how the PS4 was great, the PS3 was hard. Explain things to me. My response to Microsoft is my question is to make sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's, and they leave no stone unturned. Because if they do, they will repeat the same crap as they did back in 2013. And it won't matter, they give stuff away. They can give you free Xboxes and concubines, and it ain't gonna mean a damn bit of good. Especially if you know when you play the Xbox One, it takes your old game, yes, to make it new, that's great. It says, if you got 1080p TV, it'll turn all the games to 60 frames per second. And bring up all the old games to 1080p, and that's great, woohoo. But why couldn't they, my question is, though, why couldn't they do that with the Xbox One to begin with? Why are they doing it almost 4 years later now? That's the issue people have to understand with the Xbox One Scorpio, that people are not asking that question. Why? Why did they sit there and wait 4 years to make a console that can go 4K gaming and take your old games like your Dead Rising 3s, your Rise, your games like that have trouble, and same Titanfall, that go from 900p, 720p to 1080p, 6 frames per second? Why couldn't they do that, on the original Xbox One? I don't mean original Xbox from 2002, but I mean original Xbox from 2013. I want to make sure I get the point out there first. And that's why I'm irritated by it. And that's why I'm dumbfounded and kind of speechless on that situation, where you would think by this point in time that the Xbox One would have 1080p before PS4 did. Because the PS3 did. PS3 had HDMI hookup way before the Xbox 360 did. And that's fact, though. When I had 360 and I had a PS3, and the PS3, yes, were a lot more expensive. We didn't understand, though. They made the PS3s for $900, sold them for $600, so it's took $300 hit, and had HDMI cables already hooked up. All you had to do is go to the store and buy yourself an HD cable. But with the Xbox One, the games don't go to 1080p. So why are we going to spend $700 on a new Xbox console to sit there and say, now you can get your Rise or your Dead Rising 3 up to 1080p or 4K 60 frames per second? Oh, and by the way, screw you for buying an Xbox. Go F yourself. That's practically what it says to me. Now, would I buy a Scorpio? Probably. I have an Xbox One right in front of me. I have a PS4 sitting over there. I probably would buy an Xbox Scorpio, and I'll buy a PS5 or whatever when it comes out. It doesn't bother me. Why? Because I don't have to worry about it. But it irritates me when I read these articles and they sing the praises of Microsoft. Like, they effed over all these people for so long. They effed over all these people for so long. They effed them over. They effed them over. They didn't bother to explain why the games were 1080p. Why 1080 wasn't 1080p? Because that damn thing called Kinect sitting on top of your damn TV or in front of your damn face. That's what it was, sucking all the hardware away. But I think what the fact was, they wanted TV, sports, football, grab-ass football. They didn't give a damn about gaming. Gaming, once again, was second nature. Just like what happened with Sega. Sega had an issue with this. They wanted to become Sega wanted to become, a multimedia center. And same with Nintendo. The same with Xbox. And PlayStation 3 also. Same thing with PlayStation 3. Now, unlike the other ones, Sony has hopefully learned from their lessons and ran with this thing. And the PS4 is crushing down barriers and actually is on its way to become the most dominating console, including the PS2. And PS2 sold like almost 190,000 consoles in its lifetime span of almost like 13 years. So if they can do that in less than 5 years or 10 years, it's all over with. PS4 is number one. Now, on to a lighter subject. And not to me, I ran about Xbox and why they have an issue with that. Sony's response is going to be what? Probably nothing. Because there are 50 million consoles right now. They don't have to worry about it right now. It's like a wrestling ring. Like a wrestling ring. It's like watching the Royal Rumble, or like watching like WrestleMania, or the wrestling title match. Any title match, wrestling match. The champion always has the advantage. The champion can smack the referee, get disqualified, and keeps the title. Loses the match, keeps the title. Xbox can run around like a crazy madman all they want, but their time is ticking, just like a time ticking on my meter up there, telling me how much time I have, and how much time I've been on live on YouTube. So true is what time is ticking away for Microsoft. Now, Sony could release PS5 next year. Why would they? Granted, you don't want to become a Sega, and Sega the same way. Once again, I'm going back to Sega. They had almost 7 consoles at one time during the Sega Saturn life cycle. 7. Master System still comes some countries. The Genesis, the 32X, the CD, yes, I know add-ons, but I could run different consoles. The Game Gear. I know the Nomad and the Saturn. I know the peripheral ones, the ones that go on top of the Genesis, are not consoles, but I am in there because separately they are separate consoles. They do separate things that the Genesis couldn't do. Now what Sega and what Sony have to do now is probably nothing. They're almost at 50 million consoles, folks. I don't think Sony's sweating this. They know that Microsoft has a terrible internal communications department. Sony knows that Microsoft has a sucky ass communication, just like freaking Sega did. And we all know this. If you're 35, 36 like I am, older, you understand what Sega was. Sega was a good console company, but damn it, they suck when it comes to communication. And all Sony has to do is sit back there and relax. Not put the foot off the gas, keep the foot on the gas, keep going. But not worry about, oh my god, the tirade tornado of the Echelon Great Scorpio, Year of the Scorpio. Yeah, the Year of Scorpio is going to take more than 4 or 5 years to catch up to what the PlayStation 4 has done. You don't believe me, then you do the math. You'll have to sell close to 1 million consoles a week. And then this is Microsoft, just to make half to make up what they did with the Xbox One, and about 25-28 million. Think about it. If Sony's at 50 million right now, they're like 30 million ahead of Microsoft, the Xbox. And they came out in only 2 countries. Sony has, PS4 has. Microsoft came out in all, I think, 12 countries, and the PS4 is still kicking the crap out of them, or kicking the shit out of them anyway. And it makes you wonder, what is Microsoft doing? And shit, and the fanboys are freaking losing their minds anyway, because they know the kiss of death practically if Microsoft don't deliver some damn fun ton of games. You have crap gamer sitting on YouTube spewing his rhetoric and his gamer Third Reich rhetoric, and how Xbox crap, and running around freaking out about damn bullshit like that. Listen, these people like that, are the minority, the gaming community. And they don't have no say with it. They have no stock in the gaming community. They will go to a store and fight over a box that Bill Gates goes to a GameStop, shits in a box, put Xbox on it, and put it on a shelf, and the fanboys be fucking fighting over it because they're idiots. Fanboys to me are a bane of a human existence because they have no class. They don't think. They're computerized little crank robots that do that. That's all they do. They have no thinking. They have no common sense of, well, I could buy both consoles and a PC, so I have all these games. I'm gonna buy an Xbox because it's Xbox and it's awesome. And in time it was. But going back to what Sony needs to do is probably nothing. Keep their foot in the gas, shut their mouth, and stay on the heading they're working on. And when they release the PS5, and they probably will in the next 2 or 3 years, if they do, they need to make it back compatible all the way back. I mean, back compatible from the PS1, the PS2, PS3, and PS4. on disc or a digital media. That way they'll totally just go ahead and erase Microsoft off the map. That's all they gotta do. I told a friend of mine at GameStop, who I'm not gonna mention his name, because he asked me not to, because he knows that the videos a lot on YouTube. That he's a pretty good friend of mine. Told me that if Sony makes a PlayStation 5 and they make it backwards compatible, will read the disc off the 4, 3, 2, and 1, then Microsoft is done. Xbox is just going to shut the doors and go home, because they'll be done. Because that will be the ultimate console to own, especially if you're a retro gaming in the PSX games, PS1 games are now becoming into that retro field. So now, buying a PS1 now, you can go back and have back catalogs of thousands of games you want to play. And if the PS2, PS3 games are online, enable, that's even better. Your SOCOM, your Resistance games, stuff like that. And not forget the newer IPs, the new the Uncharted Lost Legacy is coming out in August, and that's a good game. They're coming out, I heard. But that's what Sony needs to look in doing, is go for the kill at the very end. Wait a little bit, do the little weevil dolling around, we're doing our little putt, and we're driving our car 80 miles an hour down the road. Then when they get the button, they push the button and say, guess what, the PS5 is going to be back compatible from the PS1 to PS4, including the harder program for PS3 games are going to be on this system, disc or digital, doesn't matter. Then you hear a lock, and now it'll be Xbox shutting the doors forever. That's what Sony wants to crush Xbox. They probably won't do that, because Sony's like Nintendo. They're very difficult with that, though. But if they make it back compatible from PS, even if they rolled it out over time, okay? They rolled it out, okay, day one you can play your PS4 and PS3 games day one. Boom. That alone will be a console seller. Okay, 6 months later, we'll roll out the PS2 library. You can play. It'll be limited basis, because we gotta start, sure everything's gonna work. Especially, if companies no longer in existence, or companies no longer support things, things happen with license support, blah blah blah. Then maybe a year after the console is out, the PS1 comes on board. Then now you have 4 generations, including the 5th generation of Sony software being played on one console. It'll be the 3DO of Sony, and it'll totally destroy Microsoft. And the Xbox fanboys will be hanging themselves, cutting the wrist, and blowing their brains out, because they have no idea how to handle that kind of pressure. But yeah, guys, that's what I think. That's what I'm saying about that. Thank you for viewing my video. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day in life to look at little old me here. Of course, I'm not little, obviously. They call me Smalls, but in real life, I'm a pretty big guy. Once again, my name is Mark. My gamer tag is crisis169. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any comments, you visit my Facebook page. It's Mark Upling. Or you can send me a friend request or message on my gamer tag on my PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. My gamer tag is crisis169, CRISIS 169. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you guys watching my video, and holler at you guys later.